Hello, everybody. My name is Piotr Święcicki, and I work at Worldwide School. I'd like to welcome all of you who have joined this webinar on false friends. Now, I'd like to ask you for a simple favor. Could you please write a short message in the chat box, which you can find in the bottom right corner of your screen? I'll just type a few words, or just one hi. Okay, can you say hi back to me, letting me know that everything's working, that my microphone's working, that you can hear me, that you can see the slide. Hello again. Right, so today's webinar is about false friends. I don't know if you've heard this term before. Maybe you've read the introduction, so that gave you some clue about what they are. False friends, so we'll be dealing with vocabulary today. Now, what are false friends? Let's see what they are. False friends. These are words which look the same in two languages. For example, Polish and English, or English and Polish. They have different meanings. Okay, so they're problematic because mainly in translation. Okay, sometimes you want to use a word which sounds, which you think may sound or may be a word which functions in the same way in English, but it actually doesn't. In your screen, you can see two examples. We have two words which are both in English and in Polish, and in these two languages, they mean something completely different, right? Brat and brat, so the pronunciation is different. And baton and baton, what do they mean? We'll discover that today. Plus, you'll get familiar with many, maybe more than 20, around 30 false friends. So beware of false friends. They are usually dressed in sheep's clothing. They look very, very friendly, but they are bad translation equivalents. Okay, let's take a look at the first few examples. What you can see here is a couple of words: aktualny, sympatyczny, and brat. Okay, now why are they problematic? Let's start with aktualny. I hear this very often in my lessons. My students try to translate aktualny as actual, but actually actual means something else in English. So actual is the real one, not the current one. Okay. Now, if you can say, of course, that someone is sympathetic, but it doesn't really mean that this person is nice or likable, right? Because sympathetic in English means full of compassion. So that's another thing to be careful about. And finally, the word brat and brat, as you can see, two different meanings. However, some brothers can be brats, but these are two different things. Another common mistranslation in texts, but also in speaking, is translating the word konsekwentne, or using the word consequent in the meaning for konsekwentne. It's not the same. So consequent in English means happening after something else, consequent, right? And konsekwentne, if you wanted to translate it into English, that's going to be consistent. The other example, I hear it very often in films. Films are usually translated pretty well, but sometimes, there are little traps which translators fall into. So you hear this very often, that someone is in the hospital, and the doctors say he's got angina. Okay. And this is usually something serious. This person is on a hospital ward, waiting for an operation, and the translation, oh, ma angina. Not really, not really. Angina is a different disease than dusznica bolesna, which is a heart disease. So be careful about that as well. Short break for an exercise. We'll have lots of breaks like that. So please use the chat again and try to give the right answers. 1, 2, 3, okay? To jest nasza aktualna oferta. This is our current or actual offer. Mój lektor jest bardzo sympatyczny. My teacher is very sympathetic or likable. And w tej sprawie musimy być konsekwentni. We have to be consequent or consistent. Please use the chat. Type what you think is correct. I'll tell you what the good versions are in a moment. Right. Consequent or consistent. Sympathetic or likable. Actual or current. I can see you're typing. Okay, thank you very much, Jarosław. You're saying current, likable, consistent. Let's see. Current, likable, consistent. Very good. Well done. Okay, next batch of words will be presented in a different form, in simple sentences, such as this one. I don't like your antics. What do you think this sentence is about? Furniture? Or maybe something else? Well, it's definitely not about furniture, but antiki and antics are clearly false friends, as you can see. Antique, different pronunciation, different spelling, and antics, that's just something completely different. We have a noisy bureau. This sentence, is it correct or incorrect? And what about the word office? Can you replace office with bureau? Not exactly. Bureau, as you can see, has a couple of meanings, but it doesn't really mean the type of place where most of you probably work. So maybe you remember what FBI means, Federal Bureau of Investigations. Okay, bureau, okay, that's video, right? So that's what it is. Another sentence, I've bought a caravan. Who do you think could say this sentence? A person who works at a funeral home? Or a person who likes traveling? Well, this is the answer. Right? A caravan. A caravan is a vehicle which you can treat as your mobile room or a mobile suite of rooms. And the word for caravan in English is hers. So we have two different words. So you don't have to have a problem with calling your mobile hotel room a caravan, because this is what it is. Okay, another sentence. You have dark carnation. Well, there's nothing wrong about that sentence. The only problem is what it means. Is it about something related to your body, or is it not related to your body? Okay, carnation is a name of a flower. So, okay, you can have a dark carnation, but it doesn't mean you have dark complexion. Okay, dark or light complexion. But as you can see, the words are almost identical. Be careful. Okay, break for an exercise. This time it's a true or false question. 1, 2, 3. I'm tired of your antics. Okay, maybe you're saying both could be possible, but this is about someone's behavior. Okay, true, false. My beautician told me I should take care of my carnation. Which is the most likely situation to hear that sentence from? You have to take care of your carnation, and maybe is it a beautician or is it a florist? Okay, and they love traveling and bought a new caravan. True, false? Which sounds better to you? I'm waiting for your answers. You're saying TTT or TFT? Let's see what the answers are. TFT, right? So my beautician told me I should take care of my complexion, not carnation. However, I feel you. The beautician could be referring to a flower I have in my I don't know somewhere, right? In my jacket, for example, in my lapel. So so we're going back to the sentences. He's a chef. He's a chef of the bank. Right, wrong. I chose this context on purpose. The banking context. In banks, we don't have chefs. Okay, we may have chefs in canteens or restaurants, but these are not managers or bosses that we usually think about when we talk about banks. Okay, so be careful. There's another word which is quite often confused with words like manager or boss. It's the word chief. You also shouldn't say that your chief is very smart. Not that because he isn't or she isn't, but chief in English means wódz indyjski. Okay, so don't call your boss chief unless this is a real Indian chief. Fine. I like criminal. Someone says this sentence. What is this sentence about? Could you please use the chat and tell me? Someone likes criminals. So what does this person like? What do you think? Someone likes criminals. Films? Unfortunately not. Books? Unfortunately not. Someone who likes criminals must be quite special, you know, because this person likes criminals. So people who commit violence, who steal. Of course, some people may like criminals. I don't know, psychologists or lawyers, for instance. Some criminals are likable, not sympathetic. Some of them could be sympathetic, but these are two different situations, as you know now. So criminals are criminals, people who commit crimes, and detective stories, detective books, detective films, crime stories. These are better words for the entertainment sector. Now, this comes from real life. Many years ago, when I was taking my first steps in teaching English, I had this group, and we had a lesson on sports. We talked about what people do to keep fit. Someone said that they go to the gym, and there was another guy, a shy person, who said, I don't like running. And someone asked him, why Wojtek? Why don't you like running? And he said, I don't like running in my dress. And silence fell. And some people looked at him, some people giggled. And one guy said, okay, Wojtek, I feel you, I understand you. I know, I can imagine why you don't like running if you run in your dress. What is a dress? Dress is this, right? So this is a guy who said, I don't like running in my dress. He wanted to say, I don't like running in my tracksuit. So, sukienka, dress, dresy, that's tracksuit. So be careful. False friends, again. Playing chess is not a hazard. Is there something wrong with that sentence? Not really. Or maybe there is. Well, it depends. Playing chess is a hazard. No, there is something wrong here, right? Why? Oh, someone was thinking about gambling, okay? Well, playing chess, in the majority of situations, is not gambling. I don't think it's a hazard too. So hazard, as you can see, has a different meaning, and gambling is something different. Quick question to you. On jest dobrym szefem? Is a good chef or boss? John kupił nowy dress. John has bought a new dress or tracksuit. Yes. What do you say in number 1 is the right answer? What do you say in number 2 is the right answer? Boss and tracksuit? Let's see. Thank you very much, Eva. Right. He's a good boss. Not chief, not chef. He's a good boss. He's a good manager, right? And John has bought a new tracksuit. Well done. So there are a couple of people who would say that I'm a lunatic. I've heard this from many people. Not many, just a few. The closest. Okay? You're a lunatic. And this was said, but was it about my sleeping problems or was it about my behavior? It was about my behavior, right? Maybe I sometimes act like a crazy guy, yeah, a lunatic. Your decisions, the decisions you have taken, you must be a lunatic. Yes, unfortunately. Sorry to admit it. But I'm not a sleepwalker, for which I'm glad. Okay, another sentence. Where do you have a parking around here? Now, what is this sentence really about? Where do you have a parking here? Okay, someone will get the meaning. A native speaker will probably get what the meaning is, but parking is just the action of parking, And what we mean by parking in Polish is just a car park, or in American English, parking lot. So very easy to confuse these. Now, there's another word which is kind of similar to parking, and it's happy end. To się skończyło happy endem. Right? It's in Polish. It's a borrowing from English. To się skończyło happy endem. But be careful. If you want to translate to się skończyło happy endem into English, you won't say, there was a happy end to this story. You would say happy ending. Okay, so something happened between the two of them, but there was no happy ending. Not there was no happy end. ING is needed. Okay, quick question, one more time. He's a lunatic. He threw a glass at me. Good choice or bad choice? True or false? I hate this parking. Good choice or bad choice? Right. Waiting for your ideas. And what's it going to be? TF? TF it is. Thank you. Who was the first one? It was Jarek. Thank you, Jarek. All right. One more sentence. This time might be true. I don't think I'll have a big pension when I'm 70. This is unfortunately true about myself. I can easily predict that. I've been self-employed for more than 20 years. I'm not counting on a big pension when I'm 70. And do I mean the money I will get from a school where I will probably work when I'm 70 because I'm not going to retire for various reasons? Okay, pension is what retired people get from the state. If you wanted to mean pensja, you would have to choose another word, salary or wages or pay. So this way or another, I don't know how about you, but I'm not counting on a big pension in the future. So let's move on. My son likes his physician. Right. It's a good sentence, by the way. But who does my son really like? Who is this person? A person who teaches him at school? Or somebody else? Somebody else. Right. Because physician is another word for doctor, doctor of medicine, right? Physician. It's not the same as physicist. So there was nothing wrong in the sentence, my son likes his physician, but it was about his doctor. He has had his the same doctor for 16 years, and I think he really likes her. He likes his physician. I'm not sure about his physicist or mathematician. All right, one more sentence. I've lost my receipt and I need to go to the doctor again, or to physician. Right? I've lost my receipt. Now, nothing wrong about that sentence. But what about the word receipt? What did I actually lose? The piece of paper with the list of medicines I should take, or something else? Something else. So this is what a receipt is. You get it from a shop assistant, and a prescription is something completely different. So be careful. Doctors give prescriptions. Well, they sometimes give receipts as well. But these are two different things. Please buy some salad. Good or bad? Good. But what do you mean? If someone tells me, please buy some salad, I'll buy coleslaw or some other mix of veggies and mayonnaise and mustard and whatnot. Okay, because sałata, if you wanted to say kup sałatę, it has to be lettuce, not salad. So lettuce could be one of the ingredients of a salad, but not the other way around, I think. The radio speaker gets on my nerves, so the false friend here is speaker. Now, it could be true, again, but it's a false friend because speaker is what you can see in the picture, and the Polish speaker, is actually an announcer, right, or a DJ, depending on what this person really does in the radio. Okay, quick question again. Jestem zadowolony ze swojej pensji. What should I choose, pension or salary? Mój brat jest fizykiem. Physician or physicist? W tym daniu nie ma sałaty. Lettuce or salad? What do you say? I'm so glad you're so active today. You're practicing your English, of course, typing. I would like you to type the word physicist, all right? Just practice, if this is the word physicist that we're looking for here, right? I'm sorry. Diana. Olena, sorry. It's salary, but it's also physicist and lettuce. Yes, a physician, remember, is a doctor, right? So consult your physician. Before taking this drug, consult your pharmacist or physician. Not physicist. Physicist won't give you any medical advice. I mean, they will, but it won't be professional, if you know what I mean. Okay, this is the last part of my material. It's slightly different than the other things we've seen so far. It's just a list of situations and words, and it's going to be an exercise for you as well. So, who is a chef? Is it a person who requires written reports from his employees, or is it a person who is the main cook in a restaurant? A or B? And the confectioner, is it a person who makes clothes? Or is it the person who makes pastries and cakes? Pastries, ciastka, cakes, torty, and also ciasta. So, BA, let's see. Aha, it's BB. You see, confectioner is cukiernik. This profession has nothing to do with making clothes. So I'm glad you didn't know, but that's what it is. Okay. A tailor, krawiec. That would be a better choice. Okay, don't give up. A parasol. A parasol is another word for an umbrella against the rain, or maybe it is a light umbrella used for sunshine protection. False friends, with Polish word parasol, of course. And a paragon. Is it a piece of paper you receive from a shop assistant, or is it something ideal? Looking forward to your answers. BB? BB? Yes, BB it is. Right. A paragon is like the role model. If someone you want to follow is your paragon. And probably not many of you own parasols, but I'm sure that many of you own umbrellas. Okay, 3 more words. Eventual. Is it something occurring at the end, or is it something that is allowing for a change? A chalet. Is it a small wooden house in the Alps or somewhere else in the mountains? Or is it a public toilet? Chalet. Maybe I'm just, tricking you here. Maybe chalet is chalet. And a cadence. Is it a period during which one holds office? Cadencia, presidenta, for instance? Or is it modulation of one's voice? Time for you. Think, take risks. If you make a mistake, that's fine. You'll learn something. AAB, AAB, BBB. Ho. Let's see. It's going to be AAB. AAB, right. So eventual means occurring at the end. Eventual or eventually. Think about a situation like this. 2 employees, they had a disagreement. They didn't speak to each other for a couple of days, but finally their manager talked to both of them, and eventually they've patched up, okay? And they decided that they will work together, eventually. Okay, what you're thinking was probably ewentualnie, right? But this is possibly, potentially, and chalet is, of course, this small wooden house. A public toilet is just a public toilet. And cadence, it's a musical term. It's a musical term. I won't tell you, well, I will tell you. Cadencia, right? But no, I won't tell you what the English word for that is, unless you want to type it in the chat. Maybe somebody knows what a good translation of cadencia is in English. Okay, a baton. Is it a long stick used by conductors? Term. Thank you very much, Eva. Yes, term. That's cadencia, president's term, or a parliamentary term. A baton. Is it a long, thick stick used by conductors to direct orchestras? Or is it a sweet chocolate bar? A pilot. This word has many meanings, but one of them could be a device used for to change channels on TV, or a test TV or radio program. There are more meanings here, of course, but you know what I mean. And a dress. Is it a woman's garment covering the body and legs, or legs partially? Or clothes you wear when doing sports? ABA, someone says. ABA it is. Good job. So the piece of clothing you wear to run, and when you go to the gym, tracksuit. Remote control, that's the device with which you control your slides, like I'm doing right now. And of course, this is batuta, right? A baton, chocolate bar. So don't go to a shop and ask for a baton, because they won't have it. Okay, a relation. Is it a member of one's family? A live commentary. Is genial something friendly or very smart? Is ordinary not special or vulgar? We're talking about false friends of wulgarny, genialny, and relacja. Relacja z meczu piłki nożnej, right? Is it relation? Maybe it is. ABA again? Or is ABA about the previous slide? I'll wait for nuances. AAA. That sounds interesting. AAA. I subscribe. AAA. Yes. Genial. It's just friendly. Genial atmosphere. There was genial atmosphere in the webinar. Everybody, gave their likes and they were active. Genial atmosphere. That doesn't mean that the thing was super smart. And ordinarny is vulgar, and ordinary is just, ordinary. He was wearing just an ordinary jacket. All his clothes are just ordinary, which doesn't mean that they are dirty, Okay. Relacja z wojny, right? Relacja z miejsca wypadku. Live commentary, that could be one translation. Another translation could be an account. If this is not live, you could use the word account. He gave his account of the events, so he basically described what happened. A buffoon never makes people laugh. What do you think? True or false? Carnations can be cut, but rarely tanned. Batons are usually sweet. 1, 2, 3. Again, we're looking for quick answers here. A buffoon. Okay, we haven't talked about buffoons, but try to guess. Buffon, right? And buffoon. False friends, of course. Carnations, do you remember? Maybe you're thinking about the word tanned, opalony. Carnations can be cut, rarely tanned. Batons are usually. I haven't tasted a baton yet. FFF. Oh my God. FGF. All right, let's see. We're learning something. So a buffoon never makes people laugh. Oh my God. Is it true or false? It is false, because a buffoon makes people laugh. What a relief. I thought I've made a mistake. And you can learn something. Okay, so a buffoon. Buffon, turkey cock. That's the word you're looking for if you're thinking about someone, full of himself. Carnations can be cut, rarely tanned. True, carnations, goździki, right? Complexion can be tanned. And batons are usually sweet. False. I don't know. Do you? We're thinking about chocolate bars here. All right. The cadence of the Polish president lasts 5 years. True or false? I'm not speaking about what it really is, kadencja polskiego, but is this a good word choice here? Maybe it's about our president's voice. Maybe he sings. Maybe he's an opera singer. I don't know. Do you? Paprika is a kind of green, yellow, or red vegetable. Paprika. Maybe. I won't tell you. Not just yet. And drivers can get a mandate for speeding. FFF, FTF, FFT, FTF. Lots of possibilities here. FFT. Okay, let's see. FFF again. Lots of Fs. So we're speaking about a term. Okay, the term lasts 5 years. Does it? I think it does. I'm not sure. That's embarrassing to admit, but yes, I think it's 5 years. And paprika. Well, you use it in cooking, but paprika is the powder, is the spice. Okay, so if when you're abroad, on some nice market, or in the shop, you shouldn't be asking for. You shouldn't be asking. Sorry for the beeping. You shouldn't be asking for paprika if you want a veggie. You should be asking. You should be asking about peppers, not paprika. Paprika, you just can sprinkle something with some paprika. That's the third beep. Hopefully the last one. And drivers, they get tickets for speeding or bad parking. And mandate is something completely different, as you can see. Okay, one more. Is this invitation still actual or open? You don't have to explain this to me. I know this from autopsy. Here, I can think of a possible context or experience. The Parliament has decided to prolong the term or cadence of the Ombudsman. By the way, Ombudsman is Rzecznik Praw Obywatelskich. It's a Swedish word. It's a borrowing from Swedish into English. Not many modern borrowings from Swedish into English, but that's one of them. So again, BBA. BBA. Great. Who was first? Eva and Jarek. Okay. So these are false friends. Okay. I just wanted to say, I almost wanted to say, this is it, folks. No, there's just one more slide. And I think this is the last one, or the last but one, I don't know. I can't make a decision whether to start cooperation with the real estate company. This context is here for purpose. Real estate company on my own. I need to consult it with my chef or manager. Saute the onions. These could be the words of a chef, if you know what I mean. Saute, so fry on low heat. Saute the onions and then cut the paprika or pepper lengthways. Can you cut paprika or peppers? Of course, you can cut only peppers because it would be very difficult to cut paprika into halves or lengthways. And of course, we're talking about manager here. So this brings me to this slide, which will eventually, you remember what eventually means, which will eventually bring us to an end of this show. I wanted to recommend you two books written by Dr. Grzegorz Szpila. Actually, he was one of my lecturers at the Jagiellonian University, where I studied English. And he didn't like me very much. I don't remember if I liked him or not. Probably I did in a way. But I was a very bad student. But I had a very good teacher. And he was a good teacher, I think. Yes. He wrote two books, an English-Polish dictionary of false friends. And it's a very, very interesting book. He lists lots of items of vocabulary here, and it's definitely worth reading or referring to. And there's another book by him, Make Friends with False Friends. It's a book of exercises. So if you prefer exercises, lots of exercises, tons of exercises, that's the one I recommend if you want to make friends with Polish, English, Polish, false friends. All right. So this really brings me to an end, and I wanted to thank you for your participation and for being here, for choosing Worldwide School. If you're one of our clients, if you're one of our students, I just wanted to take this opportunity to say hello and thank you very much for being with us and learning with us. I hope you're happy. And to those of you who are not our clients yet, I just wanted to say that if you would like to be, then go to www.worldwideschool.pl. There's a contact form which you can fill out and get in touch with our salesperson. And thank you again. Thank you again. I hope you've learned something new, at least one or two words that you haven't spent this time just listening to things you know. And of course, there will be a recording of this video available to all of you. And as usual, you see, I also make mistakes. And as usual, we will send you a link or an attachment with the PDF of the presentation I've prepared. So maybe not all the 60-something slides, but a compact list of all the false friends. Thank you very much again. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See you soon. Enjoy the long May weekend. Bye. Thank you.